of Nations. The current match that is about to start is Zimbabwe. It is about to be a very interesting game, I must tell you. For the Zimbabwe
lineup, we have Mutswanashe leading the Brave Warriors, followed by the goalkeeper and their coach, Mr. Mwale Prince.
pretty solid snap.
And for the have Kamal Saeed leading the Egyptians with their goalkeeper Afrat Ibrahim and their coach Zakaria Ahmed. This is going to be a very interesting game. Zimbabwe and Egypt are fighting for an opportunity to qualify. This is the closest game. The winner of this game will decide who qualifies for the fourth spot position. Both teams, either one of the teams has to win to stand a chance to qualify. Namibia, however, is holding their third place position. However, it might not be for long, as both either Egypt or Zimbabwe could take that third place, depending on how Kenya. Whoever wins this game today will take the fourth seed and an opportunity to play for the third position for the Junior World Cup. So this is
100%. As it stands now, Egypt is in the fourth spot, but that could easily change with today's game. So it's honestly really any men's
game.
any of these teams could honestly be playing for the third and fourth position.
As we see from the lineup, the current game now will have the Kenyan women facing the Zimbabwean women. The Kenyan women will have to win that game in order for them to secure an opportunity to qualify. Followed by that, it will be the South African women, followed by against the South African women playing the Namibian women, and then later at 5 o'clock we'll have the Namibian men facing the Zambian men. And the final game will be the South African men facing the Kenyan men. The Kenyan men will have to actually win that game. If they do not, they will have to keep the goal difference to a minimal in order for them to secure that fourth spot and qualify for the for the third and fourth position in order to play for an opportunity to play in the Junior World Cup in India.
So as you said, Kel, I think the outcome would possibly be.
That's the thing. I've seen some brilliant skills from both teams throughout the tournament. The Zimbabwe men have a great structure, great feel for the game. They play a very well organized game, trying to maintain the tempo, trying to set the pace. However, Egypt is a team to be very fearful of. They are very quick on the counter, very quick-handed, brilliant 3D maneuvering skills, brilliant 1-2 tactics. So it really could be anyone's game. Hence, as either one of the two teams right here is really that spot to third and fourth position in order to qualify for the Junior World Cup. So it really is anybody's game. We've seen both teams score some spectacular goals, make some brilliant playmakings. They've been playing some team sports, and that's what I love about this game.
Yeah.
Honestly, for the fans watching from home, brace yourself, because this one is gonna be good.
Yeah, definitely, and also as we see, the men's games are usually very high, but let's hope that the boys can keep it a very safe and clean games. Hopefully, no serious injuries are sustained or any injuries at all. So yeah.
We've seen some spectacular games, especially that game between Zimbabwe and Kenya, where it was some electrifying shots from both teams, challenging Zimbabwe for that fourth spot. Egypt, whoever wins this game, will take the third spot. Whoever wins this game has automatically already secured a spot how Kenya will play against South Africa. If Kenya can win that game, they will guarantee themselves a spot for third or fourth place. However, if they lose, have to keep, as the goal difference will play a significant role in the final turnouts of this game. We already saw if Kenya, however, if this game comes out as a draw, Kenya will have to keep that goal difference to a minimum. So it really is anyone's game. You can see the captain already telling the goalkeeper himself, hope whatever you're doing, one eye is on something else and the other eye is on this game, because you see some
100%. Well, we are just waiting for the our umpires to be ready to be kicking off this matchup. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
and Egypt right off immediately trying to Zimbabwe. Qualifying hockey today, so I hope you guys have prepared yourselves. Uncertainty on how many goals could score. Teams are very brilliant at getting goals quick in the first quarter. Zimbabwe especially, we've seen that in majority of their games they've managed to counter an opportunity and get a goal quickly on the attack. However, Egypt just defending. The ball gotten by the Egyptian defender brilliantly. And the umpire just blows in favor for Egypt. Just quickly falling back into position. Egypt is especially very good with the aerial ball, so Zimbabwe just needs to be very wary of that. They make the very brilliant ones. Proving to be a bit challenging for Egypt as they're just trying to play the ball out. As we see Zimbabwe just win the ball back. Brilliantly, and Zimbabwe just draws the first short corner. As you can see in the bottom left corner, our lead commentator is Watapi Viroro, and I am Calvin Virore, and I am Calvin Itungi. As we see Zimbabwe draw the first penalty corner of the day. The Egyptian man was not 5 meters as the overhead was thrown, and the umpire immediately blew penalty corner. Will Zimbabwe utilize this opportunity and capitalize first, or will the Egyptian defense prove to be a force? It is honestly anybody's game. Zimbabwe does draw the first penalty corner. Could it set the pace of the game, or can the Egyptian men get an opportunity and get a quick counter?
Beautiful save there by the goalkeeper.
Save by the goalkeeper. However, the Zimbabwean player just gets the ball back, an opportunity again as the ball is played out wide for a long corner. Brilliant defending by the Egyptian defenders. However, as they all fall back quickly, Zimbabwe just making the ball do the work right now, playing it out wide. Egypt just pacing themselves on their press, and there they go, and they're on the counter yet again, and Egypt is now on the high press as we see them quickly dashing forward. Brilliant interception by the number 3 of Zimbabwe, Mr. Davis Nathan. However, Egypt's Ahmeden Basel just gets the ball back and starts it up for them. As we see their captain Saeed just recycle the ball around as it's played back to him.
Egypt almost on the halfway line.
And it is blown as dangerous by the umpire in favor of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe can just reset up and structure as Egypt quickly fall back into position. Falling back in this game, a very high press. As we see Zimbabwean forward Mr. Bernardi John Mark just try to play the ball and get a long corner, win a long corner for his team. Zimbabwe really pressing on Egypt in this game. However, the tables could quickly turn. They just need to be very wary of that Egypt quick press. Brilliant dribbling from Zimbabwe's Mukudo Takutswa. And Egypt just intercepts that ball brilliantly. However, Zimbabwe not giving up As we see the ball played right back to Mr. Manuel. As the Egyptian captain just gets the ball back, Mr. Saeed. Saeed just gets the ball back and draws it in line. As Egypt just tries to recycle the ball once again. However, Zimbabwe on a high press, just trying to force the mistake from the Egyptian defense. As the maneuver brilliantly to his fellow attacker, as he wins it back, as the ball is won right back by Kazim of Egypt. As we see Egypt having a full court press, Zimbabwe just dropping back and setting up, minimizing the spaces that Egypt will have.
Player.
As he clears the ball away and gives Zimbabwe an opportunity to set up for the press onto Egypt. We know that the Zimbabwean press works very well for them.
Yeah.
It has been in their favor throughout the tournament, and we've seen sometimes some teams struggle. Will Egypt be one of them? As we see the Egyptians just playing a 1-2, playing it out wide. Their captain, brilliant, sticking onto his stick like a magnet, as you can see that. The reset for Zimbabwe will just be taken by Emmanuel as he tries to recycle the ball from one end to the other. It's straight down. This is that connecting hockey that I was talking about that Zimbabwe likes to utilize.
The way the runs are supposed to be performed, and they're really doing well with those 1-2.
Egypt very well that Zimbabwe knows how to very well utilize. They need to force them out to scoreline for them if they're not careful. However, the fighting spirits from both teams is both on a quick press, immediately trying to catch the other team off guard. Egypt just recycling the ball around the back, and there we see Afran Ebrak. Umpire just warning the Zimbabwean. And umpire shows a yellow card to Zimbabwe's number 8, Dihren,
10 minutes
for deliberate breakdown of play, and shows 10 minutes. So
Egypt wins a short corner from that, and pretty unfortunate for the Zimbabweans because now they will be one man down for the rest of this chaka, which would be a good opportunity for the Egyptians to capitalize on this one.
With their first penalty call down into the goal, or will the Zimbabwean defense prove that they are going to stop it? We will see.
From previous matches, we have seen that Egypt can really utilize these short corners. They really know how to execute them. Unfortunately, the Zimbabwean defense is rock solid there, but unfortunately,
run Zimbabwe's very own Davis. That was an electrifying run straight out of the box. However, he does give off another penalty corner, so Egypt will have another opportunity at goal, or the defense will work. And the ball is quickly launched. Miscommunication from Egypt, however, does not stop. Get a quick counter as we see the ball just going out. However, Egypt just quickly intercepts that ball brilliantly and plays it out wide. Captain Saeed of Egypt just played wide. Egypt's captain Saeed being the only player from this under 21 team being part of the Egyptian nations out, trying to give them an opportunity. Some brilliant 3D maneuver skills, however, well defended by the number 5 of Zimbabwe, Takunda. Takunda just getting the ball and playing a 1-2 with his fellow. Be very careful of those. As we see the Zimbabwean defender, however, Egypt back on the counter yet again, as it is blown in favor of Zimbabwe for the Egyptians shielding the ball. They can just reset and set up their structure. However, Egypt on a high press, as we see Bazim there pressing Davis.